Oh, welcome to the rain season finale of the season 5 F1 RLH horrible lot that has been decided by midnight. He's already claimed the title. He's not racing tonight, so he's obviously out having a few sherbets, having a bit of a giggle. Not joined by Bag with Scruff tonight because he's useless. Always useless. But we shall see what is going to happen. I mean, not really much to play for. Second place is up for grabs between Verstappen and Sem. And really, it's just a case of fighting for the top 10, really. Just running through the driver's standings for the moment. I mean, again, got two McLarens out tonight, so they've pretty much signed up the constructors because there's no one in for the Toro Rossos or even the Mercedes, I do believe. No, Spag is it? Maybe the Williams. Rob Wobbs is in the Mercedes, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So McLaren have automatically just won the championship already. I know, rain in Abu Dhabi. Happy days. Should be an interesting one. It depends if it's raining throughout the race as well. Let's find out. So, yeah, so Seb and Verstappen never battling out for second place. No one can overtake the drivers' championship champion of midnight. So Seb and Verstappen will be battling for second place. In a likely event, if Spag doesn't finish today, Spaghetti and Chips, and the key to score wins the race, he can overtake Spag for fourth place. Apart from that, you're looking down the championship standings, and you're nearly looking at sixth place battle between Octopus, Simsy, and Alphatrix. Alphatrix not racing tonight, so it's going to be between Opakanoam and Simsy. So as long as into a racing, yeah, they could definitely battle for the sixth place, and after that you got the best of the rest, and we won't go through those unfortunately. Just going to see if I can find what is it I've ever this might be. Yes. Wet, and wet. Let's see. We've got wet, and wet. So as we got Opakanoam all on outlap, so it looks like it's going to be a wet qualifying followed by a wet race, so it'll be interesting. I don't think anyone's actually done any practicing. I can imagine any of these guys doing much practicing on the wet. As we'll drive on board with Oppenheim, we'll see. Let's see how he does really. Usually you can go flat out through these first few turns. And usually you can cut quite a lot, but I'm guessing in the wet it's going to be more of a tentative case of trying to put your foot back on the throttle. Up to the hairpin of turn 7. Going just dropping down, just being very sensitive. Even in fourth gear there, you saw that he lost the back end there for Oppenheim. This will be an interesting one. Is it second or is it first? Staying in third, dropping down a second just to get the rotation around. Quarter on the throttle, straighten up, power down, all the way in the fourth gear. No DRS because it's wet. A long straight of Yaz Marina into turn 11 over the technical third sector. Usually you would say that wet conditions would favour a setup for someone that can stick to the track. This is where you can actually make or break your time. So amazing, in the third sector there were 10 turns, which is just about as many turns as there is in the first part. We've got 21 turns in total in Abu Dhabi, and 10 of those turns are in sector 3. And as Opakanoam is going to set the pace for today, and he got a good result last week as well, almost losing it there. Should be a good little banker. 150.1, so it's pretty decent. As we'll put on board with his teammate of Benin, who's currently looking at a decent time, but maybe just maybe much better. Beaten by a second of 114 dead. 114? 149. As I think that is Cohen, or Kuhn, and the key to is coming across. Nope. Yep, so Cohen coming across the start finish line, he's going to be P4, seems a danger crossing over in 1:49.6, so he'll be in provisional P2. The Key to invalidating his lap, Crazy Crumpet, setting a good time of 1:52.9. Is he on a hot lap? He does seem like he's on a hot lap. That's not Forbes. Caddis has just finished off his first lap at 1:54, so that's not brilliant. Go on board with Sem. This takes a turn 20 and 21, the final turn. Been a very slow time, it's going to be about 1:52, 1:53. Forbes coming up to the final two turns as well. He's just given up. Look, I think he's just looking for a good exit here and just going to set himself up for another one. Oh, must be a new driver in Spag and Chips. Must be a new driver. Well, welcome to the F1 League, Spag. I don't think I've ever seen him in here before, but as he seems to be on a hot lap, sector 3, coming through the final few corners now. Cutting everything, hitting everything but the corner there. That's handy. Coming through now, turn 19. Making a right fast of that. The Neen just getting out of the way of Spag as well. But I can't imagine this is going to be a validated lap for Spag because, let's face it, I think he's been more off the track than he was on the track. But a 1:50.8 nevertheless, that puts him in P6, only 11 runners today. You would normally get that for a season finale when the championship's been decided. I think the Key 2's just coming in for another lap as well, a much better one. Could be a 1:50, it's going to be a 1:49.8, which puts him in provisional P5. Sam looks like he's got a decent exit there, kind of turn 11. Taking those that little chicane thing quite well. He seems to be still pushing, so I can't imagine he can be doing anything worse. Off we go. No, still not a good lap from Sam. I'm guessing they're going to be coming to the pits. That seems dangerous, staying out for another lap on the intermediates. Why not? Because you're going to get a new set of intermediates. And he's up on his time just by fractions of a second. He's up to 1. And still only up by 100 of a second as well, going through sector 2. Our back end trying to slide out there and just taking with you. Now that's not a corner cut, I don't know what it is, I know they give you a lot of tolerance around here, but that was a pure corner cut there. And Spag and Chips put in another good time at 1:49.4, still 4 tenths off the Neen's pace, but the Neen is quite a different monster around here. He seems to have very good qualifying pace and seems to just decided, oh, be interesting to know if he's getting a penalty for that because that was almost dangerous. Forbes is only second, but he's 4 tenths down. Let's see how Callis is doing. Well, Callis is down in his time, so he's improving. He just needs to get in this last few corners. But then at 1:52, he should be able to improve. But again, chances are that these drivers haven't had a setup because they're wet. Because normally you wouldn't have a wet race round Abu Dhabi, but here we go. We've got Crazy coming back on an outlap, 7 back on an outlap, the Neen on another outlap, trying to improve on his 1:49 because it was such a terrible time. Spag will be coming in most probably. Verstappen is on an outlap. No, you're right, Lakita. It is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's a bit like saying Singapore when it's wet. You just don't expect it. The Neen, well, he's not holding up. Verstappen, they're both going to be on the hot lap. But I can only imagine the Neen's going to try and get a good breakaway. I think Verstappen's going to try and use a slipstream on the back straight to try and get a good bit of tow. eke out every tenth of a second he possibly can. It's all about the guy in front, a bit riskier. You can get a decent toe, but if the car in front dives out the way, it's going to compromise your lap. But the talent of these guys will stay on board with Verstappen as he follows the knee. As we come around turn 1 and the sweeping 2 and 3, which you normally can take out quite flat. Obviously having to be quite reserved into a higher gear, but not hitting the high revs. Turn 4 and 5, dropping down to full. Keeping it in a higher gear to most probably keep traction as it comes around turn 5, the hairpin. Dropping down to first to get the rotation. Short shifting into third. Oh, and just a bit tentative on the accelerator there, but you're going to have to be because too much throttle down, you're just going to spin around. So he may be getting an well, I don't think he's getting any toe whatsoever there, Verstappen. He can get a good exit here. He may be able to get a bit of oversteer there as the front end just decides to come out after the chicane. Manages to recover well again. Don't think he's really getting the benefits of any toe here. If he is, it's going to be very minimal. But he's a 10th up on his time at the moment, which is only going to be good enough for the position that he's currently in P5. Seems to be suffering from a terrible lot of oversteer. The knee's sort of broken away now, so we'll jump on board with the knee as he seems to be doing quite well amongst the wet conditions. Staying in third gear through the back end of the hairpin, that's turn 19 and 20. As he comes up to the final 2 turns here, going straight into the pits. Obviously wasn't a good lap, so I think Verstappen's mostly just going to set himself up for another decent lap. 6 minutes to go, he's going to be 2 minutes. So chances are he's going to have to do this lap no matter what, dive into pits, put a new set of boots on and go for it. So we'll stay on board with Cohen, again usually quite a good qualifier. So he goes around turn 5, the hairpin, staying in first, very dangerous in the wet. So good throttle control, all the way to the 5th. And the yellow flag in second 2. Sem's mostly going to put in like a one-shot qualifying. As he has, he's just beaten Denis on the fastest lap of a 1:49 dead, but beating him by about just over 100 of a second. Madness. Stay on board with Cohen because obviously Sem's going to be in second place, seems dangerous. Verstappen's obviously going to be in third, and these two are going to be battling for the second position. Who's going to be the first loser and who's going to be the second one? At the moment, the second loser is Verstappen, and Sem is currently the first loser. Now, Cohen's lap doesn't seem to be quite quick, but again, it looks like he's sort of pulled out of it a bit. So he's mostly going for another one. Let's see who's close to finishing a lap. Over in the first sector. Cohen's coming in. Crazy Crumpet. Yeah, Sem's not going to do another lap, so we'll go with Crazy Crumpet. Obviously try and look to improve his time. It shouldn't be too difficult. 151 in the wet is nothing overly impressive, but he just loses the car with all sorts going through the double right hander there. Going through turns 19 and 20, you just think he must have lost at least a second there. And go straight into the pits. Nice one. So I think everyone is going to be coming into the pits no matter what. I think Spag will be as well. I can't imagine these guys. Simsy, 2 temps up in the first sector. That's going to be good enough for him because that could put him up into P5 so far, depending on how Spag does. And this would be the last qualifying lap, unless he's got enough fuel in there to do another lap after this. So we'll stay on board. Oh, that was a massive bit of braking, nothing, massive bit of Spag and Chips with 148.7 in the intermediate conditions. The newcomer to the league has done really well. Definitely cementing that fourth place. As Simsy is now 2 tenths up still, but it's not going to improve in his time. He needs to find an optical nose. 149.3. The first lap that he did, done really well on. Simsy hasn't even got enough time to go. Has he got enough time to go in the pits? I'd imagine he wouldn't. We've done one lap on these. He's going to try and do another one. Yeah, he's not using any ERS or anything like that. So Spag is not on a hot lap. I think he's quite happy with the time that he's done. Oh, massive look up there. Yep, Philip, it's wet. Wet in Abu Dhabi, mate. And from what I can gather as well, the race is going to be wet as well, so no idea what's going to happen here. Daneen, who had a really good time, and then Sem just came along and ruined his season finale. He's following Sem now. If he can get a good exit coming out of this hairpin, she can. Should do alright. Nothing there, still 1 minute 30 until the session is over. If anyone's guessing who's going to get P1, provisional pole, it's definitely not going to be Sem way second at track, but again, I think these guys have got one more lap in them. Sem's going to let Deneen go. Oh, Deneen just going a tiny bit wide there. Taking that very deep, he's given up on the lap. And Sem and Deneen playing the waiting game. I don't think you're going to be stuck behind Crazy Crumpet. Deneen, you're naturally faster than he is. So let's have a look. Spag and Chips has given up, so he's going to be finishing on that tyre. What we'll do is we'll come across with Sem. I'm pretty sure that's the same place as well, Philip, mate. I don't think anyone decided to practice in the rain. I know I certainly haven't, and certainly will be. He's getting a setup for it. So as Sem comes up to turn 3, turn 3. It's a weird one, that isn't it? Turn 3. 4. Turn 7. I know what turn 7 is. So turn 7. Spags retires from the session, but obviously this is all now over and done with. I think Sem's going to be the first one to cross the line. No, Verstappen is. Just looking to see who's going to be crossing the line first. So off we can home. Looking to improve on his time. And can he? He's done very well, but no, he's not going to be able to improve in his time. Verstappen, Lakitu's given up. TG Forbes, Rob Forbes, comes across a 149.2, his best time, but not unfortunately enough. Verstappen, as he comes up to the last corner now, looking for a 148 at least. Gets P2, so that's all good. Sem, he's binned it on the last few corners, and I think that's going to be him confined to the point that he's going to be in P4 at the very best. Let's see how it goes. Try and touch everyone as they cross the line. Missed out on Cohen. Cohen didn't improve in his time. And Sem decided not to keep going out. Deneen seems to be on a fastish lap as Crazy Crumpet now crosses the finish line. Crazy Crumpet's not going to be doing anything special there. Deneen, he takes it away from Spag by 3 tenths. What a lap there, 148.4. Sem's in, Simsy danger. He's up on his time by 800ths of a second. And he does really well there, but it's invalidated, so that's no good. And that's it. That's it for the race for the day. Race for the day, the quarter point. So we're going for the standings in a second. So Deneen and Spaghetti closing out the front row in the Renault and the Williams. Deneen setting a good time, 1:48.4. Verstappen and Oppenheimer setting the second row on the McLaren and the Renault. So good points for the Renault here potentially today. Then Sem and Simsy. So it's not really good qualifying position for Sem because Verstappen is obviously ahead. And I think these guys are quite close. Then you've got the Kitu and Rob Forbes, now known as TTG Forbes. And then you've got Kuhn and Callis finishing off the top 10, and Crazy Grumpy bringing from the rear. Yep. So I tell you what, Deneen's a bit of a qualifying specialist, but these conditions are not good for how he drives. Don't get me wrong, he can drive really solidly, but has tendencies to make silly mistakes and overcommit to some corners, which causes him to go into the wall and end up retiring. But it's a dry race. Please tell me I've got sound. I don't really want to play the race this without any sound. He's a smooth operator. Who knows? Could be. It'd be interesting. But only 11 runners today in the season finale, which is a bit disappointing. You would have thought more people would have made more of an effort. It's been a long old season. Hopefully there's a shake-up next year for the positionings and attendance percentages for people that are in F1, F2, F3 and F4. Get the part-timers out and get the people that actually want to race in. I'm hoping there is sound, because it doesn't sound like there is any sound unless I've turned my volume down, which I have not. Alright. Oh, yep, got sound, it's all good. So, starting the old formation map, so while that's doing that, let's get all these in. Now the question is, mixture of strategy. So medium, I'm guessing a medium soft is a tyre of choice, but I'm pretty sure there'll be people out there doing a medium soft to avoid, medium hard to avoid another pit. But the pit's not really that, it's a bit awkward to come out of, but on this track, hard tyres are not your friend. But I suppose Kuhn's going to try and prove otherwise. He's the only one starting on the hard, so you've got Deneen starting on the mediums in first position. Then you've got 7 Simsy in 5 and 6 on the mediums, and 4 as well in P8. Kuhn's going to be very slow, and it's going to be important for Callis and Crazy Grumpy to get past him. Likitu, very quick in the race. He's got a very good race pace generally. He's going to have to get past 7 Simsy rather quickly and try and chase the back of Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer had good pace in the wet. Whether this can transpire into the dry, whether they compromise anything on their setups, is another question. And it's going to be important for Verstappen and Spag to try and get past Deneen if he is the slower driver. But Deneen again always has good pace. Now what's also important as well is Verstappen can score 13 more points than Sem, he will get P2. So at the present moment, it would require Verstappen to come first and Sem to stay where he is, or come fourth, I do believe. Yeah, he would win it by... No, he wouldn't. No, he would. Yes, Verstappen to win and Sem to come 7th, I do believe. 7th to win to get 2nd place. Basically, Sem just has to finish in the top 6 and he's guaranteed P2 in the championship. Obviously, like I said, Midnight won the championship last week in Interlagos with a fine race, and decided that to toast off his victory, he won't attend the season finale. So, for shame, bad champion. Predictions on who's going to win today. As much as I like Deneen and I think he's very quick, I don't think he's going to win it. I want to say Verstappen. I'm going to say Verstappen to get a win here. You can't take away Sem. Sem is a very quick driver. And Lakitu. I think Spad's going to mess it up, so I'm not going to say Spag. So, all lined up for the 11 drivers. 3, 4, 5, red light. Off they go. And it's a good start by Deneen. Not such a good start by Verstappen. He seems to have choked it a bit there. Spag just tucks in, so no one's going to pass. There's been a bit of a dive bomb there by Simsy. pushing his Sem wide, and there's a there's a Nikita incredibly wide, and he's just been overtaken by Callis as well. Crazy Crumpet looking to line him up going to turn 5, but Nikita just manages to keep hold of it. Upper Canome dropping down the places, which is unfortunate. And Verstappen is overtaking Spag and Chips, and this is going to be good for Deneen because this can give Deneen a bit of a chance just to get on with his race. Let's move further down the field. I don't think anyone's making a move. Forbes again having a very good start to the race, up 4 positions from the off. Seems to be doing really well, and Sem just dropping down. So at this present moment, Sem still will get 2nd place in the championship, and Verstappen will unfortunately just only close up the gap. Simsy and Sem looking to try and have a look at Forbes. Forbes seems to have a good getaway, but then just sort of struggles throughout the rest of the track really. Drives really sort of lead and just can't seem to get the pace. His getaways are absolutely legendary, but he's just got to transpire that into the race pace as well, as Deneen is dropping a bit of time for Verstappen. But Verstappen is on the quicker tyres, Deneen on the mediums, Verstappen on the softs. And I would think that Spag, unless he's got any damage, I don't see that there's a yellow flag. And Crazy Crumpet, he's out. Whether he's been hit by someone or not is another question. And it looks like Lakitu, yeah, he must have had a collision with Lakitu. Lakitu's come in, he's diving in, mostly going to chuck on the hards. He might as well nowadays. I'm surprised it's not a safety car, or even a virtual safety car, to be quite honest. In the middle of the track, I would have thought so. So, as long as the 10 runners finish, everyone scores points and everyone's a winner. We're staying on board with Verstappen. Deneen just seems to have the straight line speed and seems to pull it away, but Verstappen just needs to just try and get at his toe. You can make up at least 2-3 tenths just sitting in people's toe through these two sectors, 2 straights. And Sem's been let through by Simsy, or whether he's made the overtake, I'm unsure, but I've missed that one, so it's always handy. But Sem is on the back end now of TTG Forbes, probably known as Rob Forbes. Bit of a slight lock up there, going into the final sector. It seems to have good pace. It seems like the medium runners are actually doing quite well there. Oh, what's happened to the knee? Oh, I've missed it all. Oh, I've missed it. It's all gone wrong. Don't know what's happened there, but Verstappen's just taken Deneen rather quite easily, really. Crazy Crumpet's left the session. I'm going to see if there's going to be a bit of a battle to see. Because the soft tyres generally go off around, about lap 7. Lap 7 to 10, depending on how aggressive you are. And you saw that medium tyre, that's I generally find not that great on pace and seems to have less tread than the soft tyres, because it seems to last as long. Callis gained a 3-second time penalty early on in the race, but we're going to stay on board with Deneen, who's got DRS. Verstappen going defensive, trying to break the toe. But we're going to jump on board with Sem, who's coming up with the back of Forbes and just overtakes him on the inside. A very simple move as he comes into the first chicane. And there seems to be a bit of lag there from Forbes. And Forbes, yeah, revving up his engine. Spag and Chips slowly coming back into the battle now for the first position. Just try and keep an eye on the battles there. Oh, there has been. Forbes has been taken out, and I can only imagine by Simsy. And there seems to be a bit of contact going there. And again, Forbes unlucky. He just seems to be unlucky in any race that he gets. He gets a really good start, and then just gets involved in these instances. Whereas you've got Callis coming all the way back over Upper Canome. So Callis having a really good race, a good start to the race. Not being a prolific point scorer, but staying on the back of Callis, Upper Canome, so actually could get some decent points. Spag and Chips closing up the gap at the front to Deneen, but Deneen is closing the gap on Verstappen as well. And Spag and Chips deciding to make his own pathway to take turn 1. Why the devil not? He must have got a corner cut at least there, or a track extension. So it's all about the exit from this hairpin here, turn 7. Getting a wide entry, straight up as quick as you can. Now the Neen is going to take a defensive line here. He's got the DRS open. Tyre choice now really won't play much of a part. It's all about who's got the better top end speed. He's got a really good toe on the Neen going into the first chicane before it's next DRS. It does seem like the Neen just got a good exit there. And again, this is all good for Verstappen, because Verstappen will start pulling away while everyone else is sort of having a battle there behind him. But the Neen defending the position, tough, not majorly, but just keeping it there. As we see Callis and Okakano at the end of the second DRS, swapping places. Callis making a nice little move there. Oh, and Callis braking a bit earlier, and Okakano going to the back of him. Hopefully no damage for Okakano. After a good strategy last week. Hopefully he can again perform again today. Callis seems to have some pace here, and they're both on the soft tyres, so Verstappen diving into the pits on lap 4. Very early pit stop. I don't know if there's a rain due for the rest of this race, I can't imagine it. But he's going to be diving in, same as Okakano, lap 3, into the pits as well. Going on to the mediums. Interesting. So this is all good. The K2 just coming through now, the final corner. Okakano strapping on the hard, so maybe try and take them to the end. Now Spag and Chips is going to have a really good run here. Could have a chance to gain the lead on the DRS straight. The Neen taking the defensive line. Spag taking the racing line as they both go into the chicane. Spag's made the move work, but the Neen can come back and attack, as he's going to have DRS going down the second DRS straight. So Neen going to chuck up on the inside. I think he's thinking better of it. Spag majorly looking up the front lefts. Maybe that's a sign of tyre wear, but that force is a bit early to coming in for us, after the set of softs. Usually you can get a good 7 to 8 laps out of them at least. But again, this is why I drive F4 and they drive F1. So this is the closest battle. Spag's diving into the pits now, which will make the Neen inherit the lead. I suppose for the Neen, it's about getting his car as light as he possibly can. He's obviously got plenty of fuel on board, and well, I don't know any other way, to be quite honest. Needs to be enriched for quite a lot. The question is now, is the undercut that Verstappen done going to be good enough? As Callis and Cohen keep going through, Forbes has gone through as well, but he's yet to pit. Verstappen has now overtaken, almost hit in there. And Spag comes out 2 seconds behind Verstappen, so he's lost a bit of time there. He's lost about a good second and a half. Yeah, good second and a half to Verstappen, so he's got to make this first outlet that he's doing now on the medium tyres worthwhile, whereas Kuhn is now challenging Callis, who is on the old softs. The hard tyres will be the better tyre now by the looks of things, and he makes the move quite easily. So Kuhn's just going up now for the first chicane. He's not going to have DRS. Can Callis fight back? Callis seems to have got a bit of oversteer there as he comes out of the chicane. Don't think he's going to be able to catch up with Kuhn. Seems to be losing time, and I can only imagine he's going to be diving into the pits at the end of this lap as well to step on a set of mediums. So it does look like it's going to be a soft medium strategy. But the softs for these guys are only lasting 3 or 4 laps. It's not going to be great. And now Verstappen is catching up to the back of Forbes, almost within the DRS range. Obviously Forbes, after that first spin, he's now trying to recover. He started on the medium tyres, so he will have the faster tyres available between the next 2 stints. and luckily it was only a spin, not a bit of damage that he took as well. As they come across the turn 21, the final corner, Verstappen now is only 6 tenths behind, and should have a relatively simple overtake to take on the first DRS straight. Callis still staying out on the soft tyres. Maybe he's got a setup that isn't so hard on the tyres, and maybe he can do a soft, medium, soft. Verstappen was taking turn 5 and 6 there, taking a little chicane there quite well, and has scored a lot of time. So a relatively simple overtake. I reckon he just stuck it in medium ERS and medium fuel, and he'd make the overtake quite simply. Forbes yielding the position. I don't think he's taken back, but he does seem to have a bit of lag issues there. But will he fight back? Was Verstappen not close to Callis to get the DRS, but Forbes will have DRS on Verstappen. I don't think there's going to be any moves made. So we've gone through. And the thing is for Spag now is that he's got to try and catch up. If he wants any chance of winning this race, he's got to play catch up. He's got to make the most of these tyres. He's got to overtake Forbes relatively soon to have any chance, because as you can see, Verstappen is all over the back of Callis, who's been P5, yet to pit though. And Callis is on old soft tyres, and this should be a very simple move going through there, locking up his front rights. Callis there. Verstappen should be able to get better traction, but can't seem to make the move work. So where we've been rather tentative, but he's got to be quite careful, because the Spag and Chips just behind. But the way things are going, Verstappen looks like he can take a dive up into turn 5. Has taken the racing lines. Verstappen just playing a sensible game. He knows he's got the faster tyre, maybe save a bit of fuel, a bit of ERS. Goes round the outside, and Forbes has retired, so I don't know what's happened there. And Verstappen is going to have DRS and DRS as well, and I think Spag's going to make the double overtake. So it's going to be a double loss for Callis. He's done really well on the 7-lap old soft, but should have pitted a couple of laps back if he's lost it. Not too sure what happened to Forbes there. Let's see if anything's put on Discord. No, I think it's there on Discord. Let's see what we can find in there. Well, it looks like we've got a good little battle here for, well, potentially P1. As Sam is coming up to the back of Deneen. Deneen seems to have lost a bit of time there, because Sam was about 2 seconds back. But Sam seems to have found some space on So the idea now is, where do we go with? We'll stay on board with Sem at the moment. We'll stay on board with Sem as he's coming up to turn 5 and 6. Getting really bad on the back end of the knee. There's a really good exit coming out of this corner. Callis is going to the pits, and that's inheriting the key to P7. Well, the question is, Sem has got enough ERS, he's got enough fuel. Can he make it work? Deneen going defensive, just slowly coming across the edge of the racing line to try and get a better angle, coming to second DRS straight. Now all Sam needs to do is get a much better exit, a little bit of twitches oversteers they didn't really need. Will he be able to make it? He's catching, he's down to 2 tenths. Deneen taking the defensive line, but Sam makes a good overtake, staying to the outside, and Sam has made the move stick. There is no chance of a switch back here. And Deneen has yielded the position. But coming into the back of that, Simply Danger is really on the rear there, and as we come back onto Verstappen, Verstappen just coming up to the back of Cohn, who has yet to pit again, but he's on the hard tyres, so the hard tyres will be good for a good 20 laps, so maybe could be just doing a hard soft stint. Not my ideal choice, but Simply Danger, as long as you can keep it clean as well, penalties may come into effect there. As Cohn locks up his front left, they're going to the double right-hander. He could leave himself viable for Verstappen, and Spag, maybe saving a bit of fuel there, but he needs to just get himself into a position where he can start challenging Verstappen. And Deneen just seems to pull back. Verstappen's making a brave move on the inside of Kuhn, and he's made the move stick. Kuhn just gives his respectful, gives him the space. But then with Spag and Chips come to the inside, turn 2 and 3. And Kuhn has just yielded the position. I don't think he knows that that's not his strategy, that's not his race. So he's just let them go. As Deneen now will have DRS. He's not got much of it left to try and catch up with Sem. Sem is a different monster. He's a very good racer, very solid. And I think Deneen is just going to try and just be play the waiting game there. Spag and Chips not playing catch up, not using much ERS. I think he's just storing up and storing up. And waiting and waiting, looking after his tyres, so when Verstappen does start struggling, he can strike. But Spag is in a very good position to try and win this race. So from the leader, they're both 10 seconds. I mean, Sem still has to pit, so he could be going to the hards, depending on how far he gets on the mediums. But if he does go softs, he's going to need to at least do about 18 laps on these mediums if he can have any chance of doing a medium to soft, which is a very unlikely strategy. Spag does seem to be getting to the right, to the back end, but then again, saying that, so does Deneen. Whether Sem's had a really bad final sector, or there's a bit of lag, but Sem's diving into the pits on lap 9, so Deneen's outlasting. Deneen inherits P1 again, and Sem's diving in. Seems he's dangerous staying out. Verstappen and Spag are racing again, so this is the closest battle, so unfortunately they're going to get quite a lot of screen time. But Simsy Danger's all over the back of Deneen, so Deneen must be really struggling. It seems he must have been just driving very cautiously, very carefully, and he's just cut that corner like he weren't even there before you seems he cut the corner. So needing a good exit here. Just over revving slightly, maybe just to get a bit more traction down. Deneen seems to have maybe just turned off ERS completely. Yeah, he's turned off ERS. I think he's just going to try and get in the slipstream of Deneen, of Simsy. And Spag and Verstappen are out on the battle. Spag's got the race in line. Verstappen's just going to tuck him behind. He's going to have DRS going into the next DRS straight. Spaghetti goes a little bit deep into the chicane. Verstappen gets a really good exit coming out of there and should be able to make another move. Will Spaghetti go defensive? Verstappen not really getting to his slipstream, so I don't think the move's going to happen here anytime soon. And Simsy's obviously made the overtake on Deneen, quite simply. Deneen wasn't able to fight back. And now it's time to see if Spag can pull out the lead and maybe try and catch up with Deneen. I don't think it's too important at the moment because Deneen's still got a pit again, so it's not the end of the world. Sem 7 seconds behind Kuhn, but he's on the fresh medium, so he should be about a second and a half faster. Lakitu, who's on 9 lap old mediums, maybe going to trap bolt on the set of hards for the last stint. There's a Opikonoim. Oh, I don't know what happened to Opikonoim. He was doing so well. So we're down to 8 out of 11. 3 DNFs at this present moment. Seems Danger's coming to the pits, as has Deneen. And there is another yellow flag in sector 3. Not too sure. Lakitu now inherits P5. Verstappen on the DRS of the race leader, Spag and Chips. So it should be interesting. Will Verstappen be able to catch up with Spag and Chips? Because Verstappen does need the win here, and he needs Sem to fall down a few more places. But Sem has still got to go onto the soft tyres as well this race. So he's still got a pit against. So he's just got to try and build a lead here, and either hope for an incident from Sem. But they're saying that Simsy Danger all over the back of Lakitu. Lakitu having a terrible race today. I don't know what's going on there today. We had a bit of an incident in lap 1, but pace wasn't there. Deneen, it's a freeway battle as well. Deneen has just come out of nowhere and has overtaken Simsy and Lakitu. And Lakitu just backs out of it completely. So Simsy and Deneen fighting, going through turn 11, going through the chicane here. Very respectful, giving enough space, but Deneen comes out on top. Simsy on hard tyres, so he's not going to be pitting again. He's going to be on racing to the end. whereas the lean is now on the soft tyres, and most people will have to pit again and jump into the hards, to the mediums. So an interesting strategy there, lots of different strategies, and it would all come into fruition in the last 15 laps, as well as penalties as well. A lot of penalties here, but Spag and Chips is holding the lead at the moment, but Verstappen's close behind. Verstappen, I want you to win this race, or I shouldn't really be biased, but I want you to win. Not only have you not won a race all season, you've always been the bridesmaid. I don't want you to be the bridesmaid anymore. I want you to win the race. If you don't win the race, you're a disappointment, and I'm going to have to sell you. Now, it's got a good exit. Spag's got a decent exit as well, but as they come up to the DRS, Verstappen will have the DRS. Just short shift in there into 7th. I don't know why that was. Takes a good line. Just needs a good line coming out of this chicane. He's got a lap hold of tyres in Spag, but he's got a good exit there. Spag seems to be saving some energy, but now he's gone onto the racing line. It's going to be a dive into turn 11. Now Spag's taking the wider line. Oh, I tell you what, that's very good racing by those two. Verstappen taking the inside line, but the Spag and Chips just taking a wider run into the corner and getting much better traction, able to take it a lot faster. So good racing there by them two, keeping it nice and clean. 9 times out of 10 to go through the corners, and even proving this race today. Go for that chicane side by side, you can make contact and you can knock people out. Now Simsy danger still in the back end of the knee, but then he seems to have pulled out a gap. Sem is coming to the back of Kuhn. And Kuhn on a completely different strategy to everyone else. He's on the hards. I can't imagine he's going to do anything but a hard soft or a hard medium. Hopefully he'll push it to a hard soft. I reckon he can get 8 laps out of it. Oh, Spag and Chips has yielded the position. I think that's tactical more than anything else. I think, you know, he's coming through here, he's going to get DRS and he's going to be able to get it again. But while storing up some fuel, while saving some fuel and storing up his energy. So it could be a tactical thing. Sem on 3 lap old mediums against Kuhn on the 13 lap old hards. Sem's going to have a relatively simple pass going through here. As he goes to the outside, on the racing line, back across, and Kuhn, again, just doing a smart thing there. He's on different strategy, he's in a different race, he's going to be doing one less stop. A relatively simple move, but then it does mean that Sem is now on the pursuit for the top 2. As this goes at the moment for P2 in the Drivers' Championship, as Midnight has already won the championship in F1. This isn't good for Verstappen, but a good old battle though. I do believe that Sem would be second place by a clear 2 or 3 points. But as Spag is now closing up to the back of Verstappen, who's going to blink first? Who's going to pit first? Because I'd imagine with the tyre wear as well, you really want to be doing about 11 laps on these mediums before jumping in for another set. Alright, Spag keeps it under half a second. It's the closest battle so far, but Sem has made it about half a second in the last sector there. So he's got the fresher tyres. Kuhn has now dived into the pitch. He's going to chuck on a set of mediums, hard to mediums, 1 stop all the way. And what he's going to do initially is he could, depending on how well he does, Nikita also come in as well, he could very well challenge maybe for a podium if everything goes his way. Maybe. So as we back onto the back straight, turn 7, after turn 7 onto the first DRS, Spag and Chips again, just keeping him in DRS range, not going for the overtake, just sitting behind, maybe just conserving his tyres, maybe just saving the fuel as well, maybe waiting up for a surge on Verstappen, or hopefully let him if I can speak, hopefully waiting for Verstappen to make a mistake. We'll get there in the end. Just going to see if anyone Oppenheimer unfortunately went into the barrier. Doesn't feel like the crash was enough to retire him, but obviously the game did think so. Unlucky Opicano, you know. I was hoping you were going to do a good race today. You had a good one last week. Forbes got spun twice, had dinner, so I thought, now so this I'm going for my my chicken nuggets and chips. Fair enough. Anyway, go back to the race. Not many movers or shakers. Unfortunately, it does seem like Verstappen and Spag and Chips will have most of the screen time. But again, Sam just making up again another almost 6 tenths in that lap. So gone from 3 seconds down to 2.2. So he's having the fresher tyres. He's certainly playing into his hands, but he's going to be on the quicker tyres at the end, I do believe, because he started on the mediums. So it will be an interesting race. If Sem can get ahead and start building the gap, this could be a very interesting last third of the race. Now Spag and Chips is now lining up for Verstappen. The key to getting a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, but there's been plenty of penalties going around. I think Spag and Chips is going to stay up for another lap, but I don't think it's actually worth it. I think you might as well just come in now, mate. Just chuck on another set of mediums, or they're going to try and go around so they can get on another set of softs. It's a risk. It's a risk because Sem, again, he's made up about 5 tenths in this lap alone, and he's just closing fast. And unfortunately, these guys won't have much defence when he does get onto the DRS straight, because he's now 1.4, almost in DRS range. Verstappen just eking out a little bit of a gap to 0.7, but it's up and down as Spag and Chips seems to have better entry and exits on some corners. Now is Spag going through a braver move, maybe try and get the overcut to work. Verstappen jumps in, so he's obviously going to be demoted down to, I reckon, about P4, P5. Simsy danger on the hard tyres, just keep him behind. Sem slowly catching, almost within DRS range. He's got to really try and just make this last corner count. Maybe you've got 2 attempts. Just dive it in. Down to 1.1 as they come up to the the sensor mode, sensor line. And he's just under DRS. Is he going to get it? Has he got DRS? He's just got it on 0.9 of a second. So that was a good dive there by Sem. He will make up about a 10th here. Just being back into the toe of Spag and Chips. As he goes into chicane looking for a good exit, he's made up another 2 attempts. Sem has got the pace at the moment. Simsy danger come up to the back end of the Neen, who is on the soft tyres. So I can only imagine that Neen will be pitting very shortly. But it'd be interesting to see how many laps he does on the softs, and if it's worth Spag and Chips trying to hold out for another 3 more laps, maybe do 8 laps on the softs. Lighter car, lighter fuel. I suppose what he needs to do is just time this right so he gets the tyres right. But Sem is all over the back. Spag really struggling for grip and some traction as well by the looks of things. Sem just getting much better exits. Kuhn and Callis. Oh, Kuhn just getting a bit of a shunt there from Callis. Callis saying no, that's my position. But Kuhn makes the move stick. Spag's diving in now. He's going to be checking on another set of medium tyres. The question is now, is that move going to be good enough for him to get the overcut on Verstappen? Deneen is gone past, Simsy's gone past as well, so he's got to overtake Simsy on track and make it about 8-9 seconds, I reckon. Verstappen has gone past Spag, so the overcut has not worked again. So Verstappen's had a stonking outlap and is now in P4, where Deneen will have to pit, and so will Sem. But now it's down to Sem now on 7 lap-hole mediums to push the boundaries. He will be on the faster tyre on the last last part of this race. He will be on the soft tyre for Sem, which by looks of things are good for about 6 or 7 laps, so he could be coming in about 3 or 4 laps. Spag is about 3 seconds behind Verstappen, so Verstappen must have had a cracking outlap. Simsy only is now within DRS range of the Neen, who's on the old soft tyres. So it's just now down to Simsy just to be patient, wait for the right opportunity, and go for the overtake. But it does seem like the undercut is quite powerful here. As you can see, Verstappen has gained a 3-second lead over this Spaghetti. And Simply Danger now only less than a second behind Deneen. Deneen's soft tyres must be wearing thin, and I reckon he's going to come in and chuck another set of mediums in, as that seems to be the general strategy, a soft medium medium, or a medium soft medium, whichever way you want to put it. But nope, Deneen does go in to put on his last boots for the race, for the season. Last pit stop, hopefully. So everyone has done the pits apart from Sem, who is due to come in the next couple of laps. So it looks like these soft tyres are only good for 6 laps. Oh, and Deneen's going to go for a push. 9 laps on the softs. Go on, Deneen. Just for that, I want you to do well now. So Lakitu is now overtaking Callis, who went into the pits. Lakitu now in P7, just looking for the closest battle, and I'm hoping there's going to be a battle somewhere along here, because otherwise this could be a very boring last 20 minutes. But as things stand, Verstappen will not get the P2 that he needs. Spag will keep the provisional P4. Let's have a look at the driver's standings until we get a bit of a fight. Simply Danger, if all things keep going, he will promote himself into P6. After Canova, who's now 8 to Neen. If Neen has a good finish, he's got to get 17 points in this race. That's 18 points at second place. It's unlikely, so he will stay in P9. Huen, again, he will stay where he is. Forbes is now out. John Bryan, he's racing today. Josh is racing today. Callis. Callis could be a big winner here. No, you can't be, because it's all done. Yeah, so basically not a lot really going to go on Drivers' Championships either. Constructors' Championships are sewn up, as Lakitu and Verstappen are driving in the McLaren. And they currently are the top constructors at the moment. No one driving in the Mercedes, so they're not going to do it. They're the only team that could actually catch them. So today the McLaren team that win the constructors. Well, there's not really much else going on. You've got Cohen, who's trying to fight off the Williams. No, that's fine. Ferrari catch up the Alfa Romeos, but the Alfa Romeos now is currently sitting P1 and P2. So yeah, it's unfortunately not really an interesting end of the season. If more people turned up, then it could have been quite interesting. We'll stay on board with the race leader. Sem will have to overtake Simply Danger as well to have any chance, and Simply could be in a good position. He could maybe potentially win the race. 8 laps to go. He's 4 seconds clear of Verstappen, closing the gap down on Sem, but Sem will look to be coming out around P4. So it will be an interesting, with all the different strategies that are going on here, it'll be very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Deneen can play catch up here, or maybe challenge Kuhn for the P5, or maybe even just do a bit of a undercut on Sem, but then Sem's going to have the pressure soft tyres as he comes into the pits, so I don't think Deneen's really going to have much to do. I think Lakitu and Callis have thought to themselves, you know what, P7, 8, that's fine with me. You know, it's end of season race, might as well get the race over and done with. It's been emotional, it's been lovely. Let's come back again next season. Verstappen is closing the gap on Simply Danger, and Spag is starting to slowly close the gap by a tenth or two per lap, but he's going to need to do a lot more than that. He's got to try and get back into that slipstream. The overcut for Spag did not work, and the undercut for Verstappen worked like a tree, but I don't think Verstappen's got any penalties either. What else is nothing going on? Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Who's got penalties? So you've got Lakitu and Callis getting penalties, but they're right at the back. Sem's got a 3 second. Simsy's got a 3 second. Oppenheimer's got a 3 second. Callis with a 3 second. Simsy with another 3 seconds. So Simsy's got 6 seconds with penalties. Callis has got another one. Simsy with another. He's at 9 seconds worth of penalties. Spag with 3. Lakitu with another 3. Lakitu with another 3. Lakitu with another 3. Callis. So interestingly, Simsy's got 9 seconds worth of penalties. So this could be. Ooh, I don't know what's happened there. I think Nikita's just given up. I think he's just like, oh, no, I really want to go home, but I'm halfway through the race now. Might as well finish it off. Spag taking another 2/10 out of that lap, out of Verstappen. He's going to have the fresher tyres, but this is the interesting bit now. Sem is now into the pits. Where is he going to come out? Has the done enough on those soft tyres to potentially overtake? I don't think this is a long pit entry and pit exit, but we should see. We'll stay on board with Sem as we experience where he will come out. So he's currently in P4. Is Kuhn going to be able to overtake? Let's see where Kuhn is. As he comes around turn 1, he's overtaken Sem. And Deneen, he's just going around turn 1 as well, so he could be very close, but he's going to have the fresher tyres, Sem. Yeah, Sem is well out in front of Deneen, so unfortunately Deneen wasn't able to get the cut, but Sem is going to have the freshest tyres. He is going to make it to the end of the race. He can push as hard as he wants, but Verstappen is in prime position to win this race. Come on, Verstappen. Last race of the season. Don't have any hold anything back. You've got to win it. And if I cursed you, then, well, blame Spag. Now, Spag's got a 3-second time penalty as well. And I think as things stand at the moment, he would promote himself into P2. And Kuhn could actually potentially get P4, but he's going to have to save a barrage attack from Sem, as he's on the fresh softs at the moment. Spaghetti getting all out of spaghetti going through those turns there. Sem closing right up on the back of Kuhn, but he's got to make these tyres. To make these tyres work, he's got to get the overtake as soon as he possibly can. Can't be hanging around waiting for someone to just let him past. I know Kuhn's quite a good driver. Doesn't like giving up positions, but he understands when he's not involved in the fight. He's done a hard to medium. He's done really well here. So hopefully he can put a bit of practice. This is now full position. Kuhn in P4, Sem in P5. Sem is going to have a better traction going through these corners, and it's going to be interesting because he's only 2/10 away. Sem could wait to the DRS straight to try and overtake him, but what that's going to do is make him lose more time behind Spag and Chips. And to be quite fair, I think even if he does overtake him, even with the softer tyres, I don't think it's very unlikely he's going to catch the likes of Spag and Verstappen. So as they come around turn 7 on the hairpin, straightens up, and you can just see the speed difference, the traction difference between Sem and Cohen. And Kuhn just stays on the inside, Sem goes to the outside, simple move, and he's now into P4. Spag slowly closing on Verstappen. 5 laps to go, 1.7 behind, but he has got a 3-second time penalty, which Verstappen has not. Simsy Danger's got 9 seconds worth of penalties, if not a bit more. I'm not really going to have a look now. So Simsy, even though he's done again a medium to hard strategy, he could end up being down in well, as low as P6 maybe. As Spag locks up his front right there. Verstappen has got Simsy in his sights. But what Simsy doesn't realise, well, hopefully Simsy's using Jeff, and Jeff's saying to him, "Dad, don't worry about him. He's just got 9 seconds worth of penalties. He's a mug. Don't worry about it. Just drive simply. Keep that Spaggy behind you, and you'll be fine." So as you come down to the 4 more laps, this one and 4 more laps after. We've got Spag and Chips closing in on Verstappen. Verstappen is closing in on Simsy as well. I think Verstappen's just got to play the patience game here. Don't push too hard. You've got a lap older tyres than Spag and Chips. You know, you are catching up to Simsy. Simsy will be naturally slower. Don't push too hard. Don't do anything that could cause you to spin. Don't go for an unnecessary move. He's doing the right thing there, just following very slightly the toe of Simsy as he goes into the chicane. But Sem is making a charge now. He's catching up, 4 seconds behind. He was 6 seconds behind a couple of laps back now. Verstappen is in DRS range of Simsy Danger, which is not good news for Spag and Chip, because he's now got to try and play the catch-up game without DRS. And Verstappen on 7 lap old tyres is going to be feeling much better than Simsy on his 12 lap old hards. And I think Simsy realises as well that he's got the amount of penalties. Hello Kobe. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock the stream is started. Simsy danger picking up another 3-second time penalty, so that's going to be 12. The chances are Simsy could actually finish in P6. Down behind, well, in front of Callis and Nikiti. I think that's 12 seconds of penalties that is accumulated now, as Verstappen is just coming up. I completely agree, Goldie. I think it would be just as such. I am being as biased as ever. I'm hoping that Spag has no pace. I am just praying for Verstappen to finally become the bride and not the bridesmaid. I don't think anyone has deserved it more this season than Verstappen, a consistent driver. And yes, this is the bias side of me talking. He deserves it. Now, Simsy, just move over. You've got 12 seconds worth of penalties. Let the man come through. But now Spag is, funny enough, now into DRS range of Verstappen. He's also got a 3-second time penalty. As far as I'm aware, Verstappen has no penalties of such. Now he's got DRS open. Simsy is chasing really hard, trying to defend really hard. He's gone to the defensive line. Into turn 11, Verstappen going around the outside. Simsy just got to give him space. Verstappen had no choice there but to cut the corner. There was no space given by Simsy. The key to gain another 3-second time penalty. This is good news for Spag, because Spag will be all over the back of this to mop up any of the pieces. I am just hoping Verstappen can just just play the patient game and just wait for the perfect 3 laps away from a win. Simsy has 12 seconds worth of penalties as far as I'm aware. Spag has 3 seconds. Sem is closing up on the group on his soft tyres, but his soft tyres will start digging after another lap or two, so it could be an interesting, it could be a 4-way fight for the actual win. I'm commentating, I'm not racing. So we'll go back up to the top 3 now. Simsy Danger still just holding everyone up. I think he's trying to hold everyone up to get Sem back in it. You've got to be playing the team game, and obviously points for Alfa Romeo will be quite welcome. Simsy Danger just taking the race in line. Verstappen just got to get a good exit now. Come up to this hairpin. Get a good exit. Focus on the exit. Just get better traction down. Simsy just seems to have phenomenal pace. Just getting off those hard tyres. Simsy doing well. Simsy is just swerving all over the place, but he's going to come under attack as well. Verstappen goes onto the inside. Simsy on the outside going into the chicane. Again, Simsy just doesn't offer any space. He's got to leave the driver space, man. Simsy going to the outside, trying to cut the stream. He's going defensive. He's swerving all over the place. He's just got to pick a line. Go on, Verstappen, on the outside. And Simsy just putting a squeeze on the outside. And again, he's done it again. Simsy, leave some space, man. Verstappen going around the outside. Simsy, he's just fighting for the sake of fighting. But this is bad news for Spag. He's going around the outside of Verstappen. Oh, Spag just getting a bit of oversteer there, but doing the right thing there. Taking off to the track, making sure he doesn't make contact with other drivers, and just making sure he keeps himself in the race. But that is also Sem, who is in P4, coming up into the podium positions, which is going to be an interesting final. I'll tell you what is fitting for what has been a fabulous F1 Racing League Hub F1 Season 5 Championship. 4-way battle for the lead. A 4-way battle for the lead. Take Simsy Danger out of it, because unfortunately he has got 12 seconds worth of penalties. I do believe Sem has got some penalties as well. This is all still in Verstappen's hand. Verstappen could finish 4th and still get the race win. But I don't think Verstappen wants to win it by penalties. I think he wants to win it on the track. He's got to get a good exit there. Just focus on just getting around that corner, hitting the apex, getting the exit now. Simsy getting another good run there. Sem has got a really good run on Spag and Chips. It's going to be an interesting one. As Sem is going up on the out, he's gone on the inside. Oh, there's contact. It's 3 wide going to the chicane. I think that was about as clean as you were going to have it from those two. So Sem is on the inside of Spag and Chips as they come to turn 11 now on the second DRS. Spag is squeezing and squeezing. And he's managed to overtake Spag. There's a massive look off from the guys behind, but Spag has come back attacking, going for the chicane. On the outside, Sem has got the inside, and Sem has made the move, but Spag has come back on the outside. This is good wheel-to-wheel racing. And Spag has got the inside line, just breaking it around. Sim, I tell you what, this is good clean racing from these guys. Oh, and unfortunately Sim spun out. And Kobe, stop spamming the videos, please. Stop spamming the chat. Alright, Verstappen, he's unfortunately a bit of a close race in there, but he had to go for it. He was on the soft tyres. And now, as we come up to the last lap now, I think Spag's tyres might be just screaming a little bit without battling from Sem. And Coon, oh, unlucky Coon. He's don't know what's happened there, but he's got a DNF. Seems danger, give it to him. Don't get me wrong, he's defended like a bit aggressively, maybe overly aggressively, but he's defended well on those hard tyres. He's made the strategy work, but unfortunately he won't be finishing in the top 3. Even he's got 12 seconds with penalties. I can't see him finishing, well, he's going to be mostly P5. But as Verstappen now, he's got no fuel left, he's got hardly any ERS left. Spag and Chips is just coming round now as well. Yeah, Lewis, he's just trying to break the toe. That's all he's trying to do. He's just trying to break the toe. But he should really pick to a line. Simsy, he's gone to the inside. Verstappen maybe trying to do the switch back in. Simsy's gone a bit deep into turn 12 and 13. He's gone wide. Simsy just managed to make it stick. But the problem is now, Simsy, doesn't matter what happens now, Verstappen will take P1. He should only get one move, but it depends on how far the driver is back. If Verstappen is as far as back as he was, you can break the toe like that, but once you get to the corner and you're going to take a line, you stick to the line, especially if someone's coming to battle you. But Spag and Chips is looking for the outside here. Again, to be very fruitful. Whoa! Simsy's just run out of fuel. And Verstappen, he's just... Oh no! Verstappen still wins! Simsy unbelievably ran out of fuel and almost cost it. I'll tell you what, Simsy, I appreciate you as a racer, mate, but for crying out loud, mate, that could have ended Verstappen's race on that last corner. If I run out of fuel there, mate, if you're going to be battling, just let the guy pass. Simsy will get P4, Deneen will get P5. Caddis is just crossing the line now for P6, and Lakita, who's just going through the final sector now, he will get P7. And those RSs are confirmed. Well, that will mostly be confirmed. You know, Simsy, you know, have a good break, winter break. But I just want to pass on my personal congratulations to Verstappen. What a legend! You are now the bride, no longer the bridesmaid. You've got your first race win for season 5, and hopefully that can continue into next season as well. You've raced really well. Tried really hard to overtake, struggled because Simsy was being rather aggressive, but it happens. But you still persevered, even on the last corner of the last lap where Simsy ran out of fuel. It looked like he brake checked you as well. You've done really well just to get over that line. Absolutely, I completely agree there, Goldie. Great battle to the end. Absolutely blinding. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure that Verstappen is going to want to have... we want a interview, because he's going to be absolutely buzzing over that. Let's just see if they want to come into... It's all going up in Discord, but no, there we go. There's the standings at the moment. We'll quickly run through them. Verstappen with a deserved P1. Spag and Chips getting P2 after having 10 years out of the F1 calendar. Sem getting a well-deserved podium in P3. Simsy in P4. Deneen in P5. Caddis in P6. And the final points finisher of the runners was Nikita in P7. But we'll just see if they want to do interviews. Oh, we'll invite him in anyway. We'll invite them in. Right. And Sam, just do apologise guys, just got to find all these drivers. Okay. Let's see, let's see if we can get Sim in the chat. Congratulations, Mr. Verstappen. Finally, it's happened.
Cheers.
It's finally happened.
Yes.
How'd you feel?
To be honest, really great. It was such a tense race, and it felt very much like, what was it, Abu Dhabi 2016 real life? That's what it felt like.
Yeah, you seem to have got a bit of well, it seems you seem to get a bit defensive in the last few laps, which is right to do so.
I get that.
Yeah, but it seems like he was defending, but with all the track.
Yeah.
From my point of view, because we were riding on board with you, and especially going like to turn 11, you know, you stick to a line, you stick to it. You know, you went on the outside, you were going to take the outside and the inside, but he just seemed to cut across your line, forcing you off the track.
Let me just start from the beginning. Like,
yeah, of course.
So wet quali, that was just strange. I don't know why.
Haven't you heard? It's monsoon weather over there.
There was actually no grip on the track, so like even less than normal into races. Still came third in qualifying, just behind Lenny, and yeah, it was a decent start. Lenny had some tire temps issues. I don't know how he got them, but it must have been a glitch. So I got past him, then passed Aineen at some point. Made a very early pit stop because I knew the undercut was powerful. Just got my way through traffic basically. And then at some point, I think lap 13, 14, Spag had an insane amount of oversteer. Like he just was wide and he almost hit that wall. That was just insane. Yeah, I gained my position back from that. Lap 16, second pit stop, and then I was just looking out to catch up to Simsy, who had a lot of penalties. I think 12 seconds in the end.
Yeah, it was 12 seconds worth of penalties in the end.
And yeah, other than that, I wanted to attack him on track, but he was not willing to give up his position at all. So
no.
Yeah.
For me, don't get me wrong, I like Simsy Danger. I think he's a great guy, but I think there's battles that you're going to win, there's battles you're going to lose, and I think, don't get me wrong, it was good. It was entertaining.
You have the right to defend.
No, absolutely. But when he realised that he was out of fuel, he should have pulled over to the side because, again, like Simsy, he's a great racer, but he could have ended your race there because he just all of a sudden stopped and braked, and that could have taken your front wheel off. And how annoyed would you have been on the last corner to have your front wheel taken off?
Luckily I only had damage, but I think that's a controversial one. He was out of fuel, so I'm not sure what happened on that side. But internal F, every time I saw him braking late, and I was like, yeah, he's no way gonna make that and give me enough space, so I'm just gonna back out of there.
Well, that's the thing though, you must have known. Did you check with Jeff to see if he had any penalties?
Yeah, I did like before I catched him already. So
no, so you knew he had 12 seconds. But mate, I'll tell you what, I was rooting for you for the stream. I wanted you to win the race, and you pulled through, mate. I put you as one of my top 3 to win. So
cheers,
well done to you, mate.
Yeah,
you bloody deserved it. The only unfortunate thing is that you're still going to be P3, Unfortunately, by the standings.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I just want to get a win.
No, Sam got enough points just to keep that P2, and I think he only ended up being 2 points behind him. Which leads us on to our debut racer, Spag and Chips. Well done, mate.
What?
Well, I've not seen you in F1, so
Yeah. All right.
a good debut.
Yeah, pretty good debut then. Yeah, really good debut. I'm very, very proud of that debut performance. Yeah, not gonna lie, best performance I think ever. This new league, Racing League Cup, I'm absolutely loving the whole experience of it, and yeah, hopefully in races to come I can show that I can win races and win a championship maybe in the future.
No, hopefully so. Hopefully, you can do, carry that on to the next season. Show up for all the races and do really well.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just one thing of GCSEs in the way of that, but we'll forget about that. But yeah, the race was actually really good, to be fair. Except for the fact that the undercut was about 3 seconds a lap OP. So
do you know what? I completely agree with you. Though I mentioned it as well on the stream that the undercut was massively overpowered. You lost about each pit stop. You lost 3 seconds, and you did really well to catch up with him after that.
Yeah, what I knew, which I didn't really disclose to Verstappen as we were in the same party, was that my sector 3 was a bit OP compared to his.
Yeah.
So every single time I crossed the line, I gained about 6/10 in that last sector. And when he caught up to Simsy, yeah, I was like, you never know, I could actually get the win here today. But that was kind of robbed away by my penalty that I had, obviously with the lap 1. So I did have a tyre glitch, so I started with like 110 on my rear tyres. So they basically just overheated straight away, and then I lost. I gained a warning from that, so without that warning, I probably could have won the race. And obviously, with Simsy's last lap antics, yeah, I quickly made a dive down the inside, maybe with a bit of hope that Verstappen may just get absolutely shunted and not be able to get it within 3 seconds. But yeah, end of the race, pretty happy with myself. End of the season, P2. Debut race, a good race nonetheless.
I know, and that debut race as well, you still keep your 4th position as in the driver standards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you still keep P4.
Oh, nice.
So Lakitu didn't really have a great race today. He seemed to have lost all sort of pace here, so that's unfortunate. But you do manage to keep your P4, miles away from Verstappen, our race winner, and miles away from Sam, who finished second in the driver standings, who got P3 today. So well done, Sam.
Thank you.
How was that race for you?
Well, yeah, qualifying was shit. First lap I locked up everywhere, got oversteer everywhere, so.
You did alright in qualifying.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst qualifying that I've ever seen you do.
First laps that was shit, but then I did the second run. That was quite okay. Got pole for few seconds, I think, and then
Till the need and Spag came along.
Yeah, the last lap I invalidated. So.
Yeah, you looked like you were on a good lap on the last lap, but these things happen. I mean, after not being able to win the championship last week, to be in P2 in the standings, you must be happy with the season, though, surely.
Yeah, I'm happy. First season in F1, so.
Yeah, no, you done really well, mate. 7 podium. Well, this is your 8th podium, 2 wins. 1 win, sorry, and that's matched almost by Verstappen's 7 podiums and one win as well. And this Spag and Chips, the debut racer as well, getting 6 podiums and 2 wins. So you guys done really well, and no, it's been a pleasure commentating you guys.
Can I just mention one thing before we go?
No.
Oh.
Go on.
I'm so disappointed you didn't catch my my save from the wall on lap 14. It was the scariest thing known to man, and that my race could have ended on lap 14 very easily.
And you know what?
But oh my god,
I would have watched it, but to be quite honest, your race is just boring. Verstappen was far more interesting.
I wasn't in the lead at that point. No, I was definitely second. No, I was first at that point.
Yeah, I think there was
the
thing was battles behind. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all from me.
That's all from you. Well, no, you don't really. You guys have been really well. Top 3 out of the top 4 drivers that we've got in the standings. Top 3 on the last race, getting all the podium positions. Fantastic racing, especially between Sem and Spag, as they were battling as well. Tremendous amount of respect there, but unfortunately a bit of collision that caused them to spin off. We assume that's all Spag's fault.
Oh yeah.
And Verstappen just racing his heart out and finally getting that P1 that's eluded him all season, despite him being so consistently on the podiums as well. So, well done, guys. So you will all be back for next season?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Yeah. As long as you haven't got your GCSEs to do next year, Spag?
Yeah.
Alright guys, well done, and I'm going to end the stream there, end the season off. So congratulations to Verstappen getting his first win on the last race. So well done, mate, and well done to everyone at F1 and for the Racing League Hub. And we'll catch you after the winter break.